In 2017, when I decided to become a farmer, I was given the opportunity to study cannabis in Northern California and Southern Oregon under some really smart guys and some people that have been working with the plant for years where it was legal. And so I took that year to learn as much as I could about it. But one of the the most disappointing observations I had there was that, all of them were white guys. I learned a lot though, and that's why I thought, when I came back from that area, from the West Coast, and I decided in Minnesota wasn't quite ready for hemp yet. It wasn't quite legal when I came here, and it still is just barely, like, we're barely, scratching the surface with it. We only really, I think in the state of Minnesota right now, it's only really approved as a pilot research. And one of the projects that I would like to take on soon is learning more and delving more into the benefits of feminized seeds on, particularly on crops, and also just on the results and the quality of the cannabinoids and terpenes in the plant. In addition to sort of the diversity and the sustainability of the plants, there's all kinds of benefits to it, right? Like the roots of the plant even have this kind of remediation benefit where there's research that says that it can clean up dirty soil, and so that's a great benefit. That's an environmental benefit. But in terms of the hands-on, the reason why people are exchanging millions of dollars in cannabis, it's what those feminized plants are producing. Right. That's where the high THC content comes from. That's where the high cannabinoid content comes from. That's where the diversity of terpenes come from. It's all coming out of that feminized plant. And so the whole point around the lab right now, like, this is a problem that I'm having with my lab. So my lab is all guys. It's a group of great guys, diverse guys, but it's all guys. And I have these very valuable mothers. They're called mothers. The mothers are the ones that create the valuable clones that I put in the ground. But I have my own personal protection around my mother plants that other people just don't understand. And the guys laugh at me when I'm like, "Where are my mothers at? Like, where are the mothers at? How come they're over there in the corner, dusty, collecting dust and getting bumped into the garbage? And, like, why are my mothers over there? Like, I want the mothers. They are the ones that are producing these high quality clones that we're going to be selling to other people. If the mothers aren't treated right, and then you get a crappy crop." And so I don't know. I know I'm a mom, and so maybe I'm just being a little biased, but I think that in a lot of labs, they don't really care for the mother plants that well. I have a certain way that I, for example, like to retire the mothers. So once we've gotten all the clones out of the mothers and we've produced her for as much as we can get out of her, I think there's kind of, she deserves to be retired in a special way. I don't think you should just throw her in the garbage. And the guys laughed at me because, I mean, I just felt like, don't just dump her in the garbage, you know. Maybe she can just live out her little life over there, and we'll give her some essential oils and let her die naturally by herself. But don't just dump her in the garbage. I also like to play classical music for my plants. I felt like they did a lot better.
Yeah.
I felt like they responded way better to classical music at night. When I would be done for the day, I would just turn on the classical music, and the plants would just be flowering, and they would be pointing toward the sun, and they'd be drinking up all the water and the nutrients that I give them. And so I'm pretty intentional about that. I don't expect, I mean, I've learned to not expect that from my male lab coworkers. But still, I think that once women start to get a little bit more control in the cannabis space, especially when it comes to the lab, that we're going to find a whole lot of ways that we can improve growing and even just improve practices and understanding of what the importance of the feminized plant is.